Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. When we left off,
Egg
has now come into the courtroom. We've learned his real name, Rupert.
Yeah.
Rupert something. And now he's going to testify because he's all being little Mr. Nice Guy, even though he's totally involved. And now we're going to rip
about
apart.
Nice, but Mr. Normal.
Well, no, he's playing nice guy.
Yeah.
He ain't nice at all.
No.
He put a gun to us.
He
and
did.
we're gonna talk about that soon. Hopefully.
Not the weird Squidward dance.
Very well. It would be my pleasure.
You know exactly the dance I'm talking
Yeah.
about, too. That psychedelic.
Oh, man. About the accusation.
It reminds me of the wiggly.
Even a man like me will
Dane.
to visit a pawn shop once in a while. You claim that they broke into the pawn shop with these miscreants of the night of the murder. I don't see how you can expect me not to laugh at such a false allegation. You even claimed that my blood was present at the crime scene. But shady forensic chemicals made by shady detectives can hardly be called evidence.
You're shady.
And of course you assert that you had nothing to do with the crime.
I was so shocked and appalled. It's amazing how Detective's silly little toy has the power to bring the Crown Court to its knees. It is the way the court respect the will of its jury. Funny you should mention that, as that lot up there is nothing but a band of disappointments. Watch your mouth. So, how long must I play along with this farce?
You will be free to leave soon, if you can prove that you have nothing to do with the crime, that is.
Is that all? Then it looks like I'll be able to make it back in time for afternoon tea.
Now, defense, begin your cross-examination.
We meet again, Mr. Egg Benedict. What was your real name again? Rupert Crowgray? Pardon me, I don't think we've met. I'm Rena Scanarhodo, attorney at law. I introduced myself to you once before. Rupert Crowgray. Pleased to make your acquaintance. In any case... What? Whoa! Why? Let's get this over with quickly, shall we? What a show off. Okay. What do I do?
Burn it! Burn his hat! No.
Judge, what do I do with this? Alright, I mean, Dane, okay, like that morning where we met
Yeah.
Mr. Crowgray. We met at around midday on the day of the crime, did we not? They seem to have been using a fake name at the time. Egg Benedict. What kind of...
Whoa!
The witness is currently giving testimony the night of the crime.
The game freaked out.
Yeah. At this point, there's no reason for him to answer any other questions. Seriously? Thank you. I have no desire to answer meaningless questions. He's trying to avoid saying anything that might leave him open to an attack. This guy's already getting on my nerves.
Oh boy.
I broke into the pawn shop with these miscreants the night of the murder. Yes, I do. Are you saying you don't know these two men? These fools standing next to me? Perish the thought. I don't keep company with riffraff, you see. I don't trust him.
And they looked away immediately.
But apart from that, I have a question.
Look, he's looking at him!
Yeah.
His tiny little face on the side.
Who was the dared to make such an absurd indictment against me? It was the attorney over there. How ridiculous.
Stop Squidward dancing.
This great empire allowing a Japanese to stand in a court. What a foolish mistake. What? Anyway. I don't see how you can expect me not to laugh at such a false allegation. And such a phlegmy throat.
You alright?
Trying to get that phlegm out of the middle of my throat, man.
Do you need water?
I'm fine. Were we at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime? Who knows? Most likely was asleep long before then. What can I tell you? Is that I certainly wasn't hanging around with these two. Can you prove that? Oh. Japanese boy, you seem to be misunderstanding something. Well, what would that be?
What?
The witness claims that he was not present at the scene of the crime, but he's under no obligation to prove that he has an alibi. If you think that he was at the crime scene, the burden of proof falls onto you since you were trying to challenge the witness. Instead of badgering the witness with useless questions, back up your own claims.
God.
Please stop. You are not a JoJo character. I don't think interpretive dance is accepted language in the courtroom.
It really is doing the Squidward interpretive dance from the talent show.
Claim that his blood was present in the crime scene. There's no doubt the traces of the blood were found at the crime scene. We found them thanks to the chemicals developed by the Sherlock Holmes. No, you think I'm the only man in the world with blood running through his veins? How do you know that the blood you found belongs to me? Could easily have come from one of these two, no? Everyone's blood has a slightly different makeup. Mr. Holmes' special chemicals react with... Ridiculous! Who's this Holmes character you keep prattling on about?
Excuse me?
He's the great detective. Everyone in London knows him. A great detective, don't you find that phrase just a little embarrassing?
I find your face embarrassing.
If you read too many fairy tales, have you Someone piped up. Have you dreamed like that?
Find your personality embarrassing.
Huh, he wants to pipe up to that one.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Tenpillar?
What?
Oh, sorry. I meant the other Mr. Big Tenpillar. I don't have to say it. I am not. I'm not Wally. Yes, I know. Nemi Tenpillar. You what? Just now, you were gazing at Mr. Crogray as if you were deep in thought. May I ask you why?
No, you got wrong. It wasn't me, I swear. I just booked it. What?
Nemi, answer the question, please. When you were looking at Crogray, what came to mind?
Oh, no, I mean, it wasn't fucking nothing. I swear me dead mum. I wasn't thinking nothing like, don't swing that camera, you'll put your wound again.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was only shot in the arm 2 days ago, you know. So I was just a concern, right?
Oh. Oh, you've done it now.
Mr. Crogray, did you hear what he just said? And if I did?
He's pulling a Von Karma, right?
Looks like your good friend here was concerned for your health. More specifically, he's worried about the wound on your arm. My lord?
Yes?
I have no idea what these two men are talking about. I believe that I should not be forced to testify about anything related to me. 2 nights ago, someone was shot and injured at the crime scene. From the height at which the bullet was found, it's likely that the victim was shot in the arm. Mr. Crogray, let us take a look at your arm. Show us what you're hiding on your left arm. I refuse. Huh? Without any decisive evidence to connect me with those two hoodlums over there, I am under no obligation to submit to such a demand. In the first place, I do not even have the connection to the victim's pawn shop, let alone this trial. You have no right to make such insinuations against my character.
You claim that you're completely unrelated to the victim's pawn shop?
My lord, please have Mr. Kroger add that statement to his testimony.
Very well. Let us continue with the cross-examination. Do you have any objections, witness?
You have no relation, huh? Hey, you know you're in a picture, right? you know you're in a picture, right? We got it somewhere, right? Wait, or did they not give us that picture? Maybe it's gonna be the music disc then, because at the end there we had a picture from him, but I guess we didn't get that as evidence. So I'll assume it would be the music box disc that he touched and got cut with. I think I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing else twisty in here.
Nope.
Pledge ticket? No. Yeah, I'm just making sure that everything is okay. And those are the pictures of cats on the back of that. So I'm gonna go with the music box disc. There we go. Do you happen to recognize this disc? Why would I? This disc was being held at Hatch's pawn shop until the day of the murder. The defendant Gina moved to redeem the item. But all of a sudden the man jumped in and tried to steal the item from her. As you know, Mr. Crowgray, that man was you.
Oh.
How many times was I say this until you listen? The man was not me. I've never even seen a disc like that before. There's a blood stain on this disc, however small it may be.
At first glance, it appears to be a thumbprint.
You can see numerous metal pins on the face of this disc. When the criminal tried to steal the disc, he cut his thumb. Since the criminal left blood on the disc, that obviously means that there should be a cut on his thumb.
Oh, of course.
Mr. Crowgray, you may have refused to let us see your arm, but how about we just take a quick peek at the tip of your thumb? I wish that we'll see a certain little cut on it. Well, it appears I may have underestimated you.
Well, what?
So you admit it then? You admit that you have a cut on your thumb because you tried to steal the disc.
Order in the court. What do you have to say, witness?
I think there's a slight misunderstanding going on here. To say that I tried to steal the disc is not at all accurate, and I'm tired of hearing it. What's that supposed to mean? That disc was mine to begin with, after all. Do you all seriously have a problem with me redeeming my own pledge? Huh? Well, well. Seems this piece of evidence will explain the connection between this man and the murder. Testify again. This time tell us more about this disc. As you wish, I suppose. It's clear that this disc has nothing to do with the murder case, in my opinion. We'll see about that.
We'll see.
We'll be the judge of that.
No,
Right, Judge?
I will.
Damn it. To McGundle may be written on that disc, but I can verify that it is mine. On that day, the defendant pilfered my pledge ticket from me. I made great haste to the shop in hopes of reclaiming my item before her, but the disc found its way into the police's hands either way. In other words, I had no reason to sneak into that shop. Short, sweet, to the point. Cool.
Hold on a moment. Would this McGundle be the man who was put on trial 2 months ago?
And died.
The one who mysteriously died shortly after I declared him not guilty.
In a fire blaze. Yes, that is the one.
McGundle was lit.
Yep.
Well, what? Then, Mr. Crowgray, does this mean that you're acquainted with Mr. McGundle?
Yes, my lord, I was. What is your connection to him exactly? Now that we have that verified.
Order! Have to say, wasn't quite expecting Mr. McGundle's name to pop up here again.
According to Gina, McGundle gave her this disc. On the night of McGundle's crime, he told her to pledge this disc to Hatch's pawnbrokers.
But that Crowgray guy says it's his.
It's a clear indicator this testimony is full of lies. He went to the pawn shop to steal McGundle's possessions.
Now, defense, begin your court examination.
God, how many times have I said that line? Like, throughout the entire Ace Attorney series.
Throughout the whole series? That's too many. That's too much. Alright, we're going to run on this so I can verify that's mine. How can you verify that's yours? But it has his name on it. How can you claim that it's yours? You can probably tell, but being a telegraphist earns you quite the salary.
Certainly, you are dressed rather well.
Normally a wealthy man has no need for pawn shops. But as it happens, I once left my wallet at my home by accident. With no other recourse, I pledged a high-quality brown coat at a pawn shop. Was this your coat? Well, of course, I can't pledge someone else's item. But I completely forgotten was that I had left that disc inside the coat pocket. Care to explain why the disc says to McGundle? Collecting rare music box discs happened to be a hobby of mine. I met Mr. McGundle at one of London's social clubs. To my surprise, he was also quite the fan of music boxes.
So this
was a sample just before the vinyl version was published. I had planned to let Mr. McGundle have a listen to it, but alas. You accidentally left it in your coat pocket when you pledged it. Precisely.
Jean B didn't testify about any of that last time, did she?
She didn't. McGundle coerced her into silence. If I badger Corgray too much about this, he might expose Gina's perjury.
Crogray. You said Corgray.
Damn it!
Oh, this is getting far too complicated.
I should leave this subject alone for now. Alright, defend over my pledge ticket from me. Prove it!
Prove it.
Gina stole your pledge ticket. Indeed, you can never hold your valuables too close when walking in these streets. But Gina didn't do that. You would say that, but she is a pickpocket and a frequent offender at that. On the day of the crime, you had acquired information on Gina. Then you went to Hatch's pawnbrokers in search of her. You did all this to seize McGundle's disc. I object to the defense's baseless nonsense. Nonsense?
Objection sustained. Defense, this is a formal warning against baseless slander. Do you understand?
Yes, my lord. Then allow me to continue with this pointless testimony.
I mean, to be fair, it technically is baseless.
Well, not quite, because I'm trying to remember if it was on...
I mean, to the court, it's baseless. As far as they know.
Yes, but this ticket, it's evidence, because it had the notes about Gina on the back.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Isn't this the one? Or wait, not this one. There was... Oh, yeah, scribbling on the back in the photo. Guess when he runs out of blank receipts, he writes them down anything in hand. Makes kind of throws the papers in front, though. It's somewhere, right? I thought we had evidence that he had notes somewhere. But where was it at? That was just a pledge ticket.
I want to know why we have Iris's manuscript.
It's evidence that we'll use at some point, I suppose. I think...
Maybe it's to show why she went... Oh, look at her little signature.
Yeah. All right, was it that there was something that lit up to
Really?
examine. But it disappeared on me just as fast as I found it.
Oh.
Oh, it's just the title.
Yeah.
Okay. I might as well click it. Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah, I'm proud of this one. I based it on one of Daddy's real-life case records. Wonder why Holmesy told me not to publish it.
Huh. Maybe he didn't like the title? Like maybe he has a friend named Baskerville or something?
Okay, how about this? The Hound of the Naruhodos.
You know, Mr. Holmes has a friend by the name of Naruhodo too, right? It's me. I'm the friend. Okay, let me see if we have... That was the one for the music box disc on the night, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's just a pledge ticket still.
Also, that's a lot of pages.
Yes, it is.
Like, how long did it take for her to type that?
All of it. All the time.
All the time.
I guess we don't have that thing that has notes. That's right. That we didn't have those evidence. That was somewhere else when we were doing our That's right. It was when we were doing the Sherlock theater investigation. It was on the back of something that he was holding.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we don't have that. Damn. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to press. Was this your first time visiting Hatch's pawnbrokers? It was my first time making a pledge, but I do rather enjoy window shopping. You chased after the pickpocket when you realized she had stolen your ticket. Exactly. It took me a moment to realize, however. And I rushed to the shop before she ended up withdrawing my coat. In the end, I won nothing more than the return of my own belongings. I can't do anything about his lies when I have no evidence.
Yeah.
This counts right in the police's hands either way. I think you just have to hope for someone to pipe up again.
Yeah.
It was confiscated by Inspector Gregson, correct? Yes, I believe that was his name. I was told that all items related to Miss McGundle were being seized as evidence. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me, Inspector Gregson?
What do you want?
Did something come to mind when you were listening to Mr. Corgray's testimony?
Crow.
Crowgray? God damn it, I'm so...
Just think of Chrome.
I know.
Chrome grade.
Not really, not at all.
Let me ask another question then. Why was the art after Cosby McGundle's belongings?
You expect me to be able to share that information? It's confidential.
Is this one of your top secret investigations, Inspector Gregson?
Yes, sir. So you understand?
2 months ago, Cosby McGundle met his untimely demise. He was a prominent figure in London, but he could not escape the dark rumors about him.
Lord Van Six, where you go with this?
Are the police trying to cover up all the crimes he was involved in?
Please say no more. There are times inspectors on assigned duties that must be carried out in secret.
Then you're implying this was a direct order from the Lord Chief Justice Hot Vortex? Wonder why he seems to have so much faith in you.
Huh.
If any case you want more information from me, you'll have to get permission from Lord Rotate first.
Damn.
What in the world? It's like there's something big going on between the prosecutor and the inspector.
Yeah.
I suppose we have no right to demand more information from Inspector Gregson. Witness, return to your testimony.
Thank you, my lord. Okay, there's no reason to take him to that shop. Maybe some high-value unredeemed pledges in there. No, there were not. Huh? The police sent a man to appraise all of the items in that shop, but it was all a pile of rubbish, hardly worth the space it occupied. Then the reason you went to the shop really was to retrieve McGundle's belongings. For goodness sake, you really need to clean out your ears, friend. But we'll play along. Let's assume the hypothesis is correct. Yet I remind you that the disc was seized by the yard. It wasn't inside the shop anymore. And it goes to show how you have even less reason to break into the pawn shop. Were there no more McGundle's items left in Hatch's pawnbrokers? Is that really true?
Hey, Ryu, if you got evidence, you should shove it right into his stupid, annoying face. I love her.
do.
I love her.
I put the disc into his coat pocket and then he pledged at the pawn shop. And when he realized that he was going to be put on trial for murder, he gave the pledge ticket to Gina.
That frilly man over there is definitely a big fat liar.
Looks like the police were after the stuff he left behind too. That would explain why Inspector Gregson took the disc.
But Toby's mumbling about something over there. I can't hear him clearly.
There's something bothering him, I'm sure. Can't worry about him right now. First, I have to break through Crogray's lies. Huh. So, I think there might be something bigger here that's playing. I don't even think these two know. I hit the right button like to look over at Inspector Gregson.
Yeah.
Because Gregson is doing some deep investigating on McGundle.
Yeah.
And Crogray went in there to get McGundle's things on the day before. I don't think he was doing it for personal reasons of like to steal it. He obviously wanted to do it to protect McGundle or protect some kind of, obviously he's dead, so protect some kind of truth behind McGundle. Now, obviously, I think was it the stereograph, the portable one that was McGundle's?
Stereoscope, you mean?
Stereoscope. I couldn't remember what it was called. What else McGundle's was inside the shop? Because that's what it led us to say.
They said there was a little box. Remember?
Yes, but did we ever find that box?
No.
Huh. That's the third bullet. That's Mr. Holmes's pouch. There's a music disc. Stereoscope. Can we inspect this? Does it have McGundle's name on it anywhere?
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is probably going to open it. So, can I zoom? That's going to be the nothing to be. So, I'm gonna unlatch it. Open up.
Fancy.
Oh, did you see that? It transformed. All I do is flick this handle.
Well, yeah, I mean, what else are handles like that for? I saw little boys like playing with their gadgets.
This little girl is seriously calling me a little boy.
Little boy!
Little girl!
Anyway, this is a stereoscope.
Okay. Well, not anything inside it like I was hoping for.
Nope.
But, maybe I can look through the... I've got it all kinds of messed up.
What are you doing?
Okay. Can I look through the eyeballs? Oh, that's just for the back piece, it looks like.
You slide the 2 photographs in here, then snap them in place.
And then you look through here and they appear to be 3-dimensional, right?
Yeah, though it's a bit of a pain to get the photos in the right position.
This is a pretty interesting little gadget. Wonder who came up with it. Huh. Well, nothing important like I was hoping for.
Nope.
God dang it. Because we have to have something else in McGundles. And when we were talking about the little box, I thought that might have been it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that we have that actually proves that, which is why I want to look at it. Is there anything in the missing between? I was hoping I could go back and forth because going like this will make it a lot harder. Clipboard, broken lantern, a picture. Nope, those are all still there. All right, let me look at some
go
other
back to
things.
the other one. And then the one before that. Okay, I thought I saw something.
Was that picture there still? Yeah, that picture's there. Okay. All right. 10 Pillars revolver, Hatch's revolver. The crime scene sketch, the crime scene photo, the autopsy report, today's newspaper, McGundle's case materials. Maybe we have to use... No, that doesn't have anything about the box in it. That's just for the case.
Yeah.
Death for a knife and a wound on the chest. Suffered from omnibus nightly commute. Mortar Milverton. Male bricklayer. Eyewitness said Lebanon East End. Eyewitness testimony of the court to believe his case was simple, but for the KAA lack of evidence. Never mind. That was for the coat. That one's all messed up. The blood samples, the manuscript, the letter of request, and the pledge ticket for the... Oh, the box! Oh!
Yeah.
The very first thing on the...
Whoops.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Like, oh, where's it at? The first thing in the evidence list is the box. And I'm staring at a stereoscope trying to find... I quit.
And I have the excuse that I am not holding the controller.
Yes, you do. You don't take any blame. That was all on me because I'm an idiot. This disc was brought to the pawn shop under McDonald's orders. Then he tried to retrieve his pledge. Except the inspector confiscated the disc before he could take it for himself. With that truth established, there was no reason for him to break into the pawn shop. Except there was.
Yep.
That's not completely true.
He's smirking at him.
What? McGundle pledged another item at the same pawn shop. The second pledge ticket proves it. McGundle pledged 2 items to Hatch. You broke in to try and steal the second one. And you did it together with your 2 partners in crime.
A second pledge ticket.
Then what else was it that he deposited? The receipt only says a small box.
Well, that's awfully vague.
Means that I brought these 2 idiots just to break in and steal a tiny box.
Yes.
I believe it's possible, yes. Utter nonsense. Why would I ever do that? Once the contract expires, the pledge item is unredeemed and placed on the shop floor. All I have to do is purchase it. I wouldn't have to have any good reason to steal it. That is true.
You make a good argument.
So does that mean there was some reason this guy needed the box on that specific night?
Yes, there is. Because all the stuff that he had was being taken up by the court to be inspected by Inspector Gregson. But I only want to make something clear to the court.
And what would that be, Lord Van Zeeks?
Unfortunately for the defense, the truth is perfectly clear. No small box was stolen from the victim's pawn shop. We have evidence that says as much. What?
But really?
Inspector Gregson, submit the photographs.
Sir, Anderson.
Photographs?
These pictures were taken by the camera that the great detective set up.
MC's camera?
As we previously indicated on the sketch, there were 2 of these cameras installed in the victim's shop. One camera said to capture Hatch and any customer standing in the shop counter. The other was set to capture the shelves where the unredeemed pledges lie.
Got this pledge ticket. The redemption period for McGundle's box ended the 13th April 9 p.m. This was 2 days before the crime was committed. The moment the deadline passed, that box would have been placed on the shelves. And then 2 hours before the murder, at 11 p.m. on April 15th, this picture was taken.
My, these shelves are positively bursting with unredeemed rubbish.
Here's another photograph.
Let's see.
There's a photo from after the incident at 2 a.m.
Sorry, my brain, like, blanked out for a second.
I feel that.
Very well, let us compare these two photos.
I was about to say, they're going to have us, like, look at it stereoscopically and see
Yeah.
what stands out as missing.
Even when they're side by side, I fail to see any differences between these photos.
All of a sudden, drifting. Hold up!
Yeah.
Let me take a look, see?
Yeah.
Cross my eyes. Oh my god!
Oh, my eyes are going blurry.
There's absolute question whether or not anything was stolen after the victim died. We asked all to investigate that possibility thoroughly.
And these two photos have been examined already.
Of course, my lord. After we took into account of the item pictured in the photo, we came to the conclusion that they are exactly the same.
I see.
As you can see, absolutely nothing was stolen from Hatch's pawnbrokers. This Japanese boy claim is nothing more than a false accusation. No, I was so close. Well, I could prove that he stole one of McGundle's pledges.
Ugh.
Don't you dance like that. I could have caught him red-handed.
Hi, Ryu. I was just wondering about these two photos. Do you think they're really identical?
Oh, I know they ain't. And we're gonna see how unidentical they are next time.
Oh boy, it's like a game of I Spy. You know those books that like all the
Yeah.
things you gotta find.
My
except
assumption
advanced.
will be probably that either that there was a box that was probably switched with to replace it so that it would look like there's the same amount of items. So it might be like a different color box, or it'll be like slightly shifted to one side or the other, which is probably gonna have to look for. And it probably wants to use the 3DS to be like, oh, let's find where the deal. Actually, I already see it.
You already see it?
I see it. If you look on the
I've been looking this whole time.
if you look on the bottom right, so if you look how like on the very right hand side, there's that little like
oh,
there's
it's moved over a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the difference is. That box is moved to the right instead of the left.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be the key to see that something was moved there. So either that box was... In fact, you know what? I bet what it was is that box that's behind the one that moved is McGundle's box. And he went inside it, took the item out, closed it, and then put that darker box in front of it. But he put it in the wrong spot, so it shifted
Maybe.
places.
Well, dang, bingo bongo. There we go.
Mystery solved.
Yeah.
Great deduction, me. I'm the real Sherlock Holmes. Me! I'm the real one.
Oh no.